My hair looks insane. Hey everybody, this is Robbie and you are watching Geek Level Asian. Today I did a little poll on my Instagram stories asking what video would you like to see? What I would like to see from the Hasbro Lightning Collection or do another unboxing. And the results are in. It looks like you guys want to know what I would like to see from Hasbro. But before I keep going, Ranger fans, don't forget to like this video. Now, I have talked a little bit about this in my previous video, so I put together a list of 5 items that I would like to see in the Hasbro Lightning Collection. So the first one I want to talk about is a popular one that I see online, which is a Bulken Skull 2-pack. I think it's time to finally celebrate those 2 characters. Because if you really think about it, Bulken Skull made their way from season to season to season and so on, and since things are already coming out in 2-packs, it just makes sense. And if they do release a Bulken Skull 2-pack, I think it would be important for them to include different facial expressions, because that's what they were all about, right? I don't know if it needs to be a completely different head. You could probably go in the direction that SH Figuarts goes in, where it's one head, but you could change the faces. And think about all of the neat little accessories that 2-pack can come with. And that leads me to the second item on my list. Whenever I think of Bulken Skull, I always think of them at Ernie's Juice Bar. And when I say Ernie's Juice Bar, I mean a play set. Ernie's Juice Bar is one of the most iconic settings of Power Ranger history. You have the bar itself, you have the little gym area with the mats and all the gym equipment, and you can't complete Ernie's Juice Bar without Ernie, so it would come with an exclusive Ernie figure that you can't get separately, where he has a tray and you put the drinks on the tray. Now, speaking of playsets, that brings me to the third item on my list, and that's the Command Center. Listen, I know that we're getting a Zordon and Alpha 5 2-pack, and that's great and everything, but Zordon standing alone, just as a tube, doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. If they made the actual Command Center, that is something I would be interested in, because we've gotten Command Centers in the past, the Power Dome. I still, to this day, don't know why they called it that. If there's a reason, or if you know why they called it that, please leave it in the comments. I never understood that. All of the playsets of the Power Dome or the Command Center, whatever it is, it never really actually looked like it. It wasn't even the right colors. I want an actual Command Center that's the circular shape, it's got the globe on the end, it's got Zordon on the other end. I just think that that would make sense. And please make Zordon actually look like Zordon and not Michael Chiklis. In the viewing globe, you could probably have it light up and maybe just cycle through a few images. It doesn't really have to be that high tech. And since the Command Center is literally surrounded in buttons, it'd be very easy to just add a button that I could press where I get some Zordon quotes, or I have some Alpha quotes, or maybe the whole thing just starts lighting up and making sounds. It'd be a very, very simple thing to create. Because Zordon and Alpha's whole thing, since they're stuck in the Command Center, their whole thing are their voices. When I think Zordon and when I think Alpha, yes, I know what they look like, but the thing that I think about the most is what they sound like. I don't know if it's like that for anyone else. Again, not trying to hate on the Zordon and Alpha 2-pack, but Zordon just lights up. So now the fourth item is something that I'm not sure how much of a demand there would be for this, but I would definitely want it. It's just the Citizen Rangers. The cast of Power Rangers, but just in their regular gear. I think that that would be pretty cool. They've already made the Citizen heads. That's the hard part. And I say that because if we did get an Ernie's Juice Bar playset, it really wouldn't make sense to have the suited up Power Rangers hanging out in it. And since we're on the topic of Citizen heads, I would really like the release of the Stone Canyon crew and characters like Kat and Tanya. I would also like them as well. It's not just Mighty Morphin, because there's a lot of different Rangers from that time period who are in that Mighty Morphin time period, but also were a very big part of that era, who deserve an equal amount of love. So now, last but not least, the 5th item on my list is not just one item. There's 5 of them. A few years ago, we received the Legacy Power Sword from Bandai. Now, all of us were thinking, if they're releasing that, then the rest of the weapons must be coming out. But it never happened. We just got the Power Sword, and although it's beautiful, that's all we got. Hasbro, even from a business sense, this is a win for you. Please, Hasbro, we want the Howling Cannon. Obviously, there's money to be made with the Lightning Collection action figures, but you are releasing your own Power Morpher, which leads me to believe that you're exploring the idea of weapons and props. And if that's the case, yes, re-release another Power Sword. I'll probably buy it, but it would be a missed opportunity for you to not release the rest of the weapons. The Power Axe, Power Lance, Power Daggers, and the Power Bow. What Mighty Morphin Power Ranger fan does not want to bring them together? And you can't even tell me that you're not in the toy weapons game because you own Nerf. I mean, even if you didn't go in the lightning direction of the weapons, which is what I really want them to be, even if you went in the foam nerf area, as long as they looked right, I'd probably get those. Especially the sword and the axe. I think the axe, a foam axe to just swing around, awesome. I'm pretty sure that Nerf has bow and arrows anyway, just make a power bow, like, why not? If you do release the power sword, please make the engravings actually black on the blade. I bought the decals and they look great, but we shouldn't have to do that. Now that I'm on the topic of Power Rangers and Nerf, it actually comes full circle because years ago, Billy, the Blue Ranger, uses like a cannon that he creates in the show, and it's very, very obviously an old Nerf toy. So it'd be really funny if Nerf just re-released that toy, but the Power Rangers version. Add that to my list, that should be on there as well. So there you have it, everybody. Those are the top 5 items that I would like to see Hasbro release in the Lightning Collection. So now the question is, are the items that I mentioned things that you want to be released as well? Or do you have some other different ideas that you would like Hasbro to release? Leave them down in the comments, because maybe there are things that I just haven't thought about that should be on my list. Stay tuned for more Ranger and Super Sentai focused videos. If you like these videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I do a bunch of them. You could also follow me on social media. I made another Facebook just to see what would happen. It was unpublished in like 3 days. So, or maybe even less than that. So forget Facebook, I'm on everything else. So Rangers, be good out there, stay well, and may the power protect you. And also your face mask, because you should be wearing them.